Not as loud as we're used to. Good evening, everyone. We'd like to call to order this special meeting of the Pierce County Council on Thursday, April 27th, 2023. The time is approximately 6:01 p.m. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Councilmember Campbell.
Here.
Councilmember Krueger.
Here.
Councilmember Denson.
Here.
Councilmember Herrera.
Excused.
Thank you. Councilmember Hitchin.
Here.
Councilmember Moran.
Here.
And Councilmember Mello.
Here.
There are six members present, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We have 6 members present and a quorum. I'm going to ask everyone to please stand for a pledge of allegiance to the flag, followed by a moment of silence in tribute to our men and women serving in the military overseas. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thanks everyone for joining us for our very first in-district meeting of the year. Thank you, Vice Chair Campbell, for hosting it. And as customary, we hand the gavel to the members whose district we are in. So Councilmember Campbell will lead us for the rest of this meeting. Vice Chair Campbell.
Thank you, Chair Mello. Before we get underway, I think it's usually custom that we check in with our council who explains why we're in district today. So I will check with Councilmember Long. Council Long.
All right, thank you, and good evening. I'm Susan Long. I serve as the council's legal advisor. So we are here because the county charter provides that the council shall hold at least one evening meeting in each of the 7 districts each year. And today, as stated, is our first of this year evening meeting for district number 5. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And that brings us why we're here. And thank you everyone for coming out, joining us in an in-district meeting. Do appreciate it. We're just going to go right on down the line here and have each of the council members here introduce themselves, what district they represent, and we'll just go from left to right, starting with Councilmember Krueger.
Thank you, Chair. I am Amy Krueger. I represent the 3rd Council District, which is the west side of Graham, on out through Frederickson, Spanaway Lake, south down to Broy, McKenna, and then heading back east, I go through Eatonville and out to Elby and Ashford, Mount Rainier, and Kapowsin. So that would cover my area. Thank you, Chair.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Janie Hitchin. I have the pleasure of representing District 6, which is Lakewood, DuPont, Steilacoom, a couple of islands, Ketron, McNeil, and Anderson, and then Joint Base Lewis McCord, you might have heard of it, and then where I live, Parkland, half of Parkland. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate coming down into the fine city of Fife. My name is Dave Morrell. I represent District 1. District 1 is South Hill, Graham, Ording. I drop down the valley and do South Prairie, Carbonado, Wilkeson, Bonnie Lake, Lake Taps, Buckley, jump over Enumclaw to Greenwater, and I go to Crystal Mountain. And plus I have 3 ghost towns, and yes, they do vote from time to time. That would be Melmont, Fairfax, and Montezuma. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I don't know that I've heard that part of Councilmember Morrell's district. I'm Ryan Mello. I serve District 4, which represents the communities of Fircrest, University Place, and Central Tacoma, Hilltop Tacoma, Downtown Tacoma, and South Tacoma. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm Robin Denson. I am one of the newest council members. Well, I guess I am the newest council member, and I represent District 7, which is North Tacoma, part of West Tacoma, and then everything west of the Narrows Bridge, so Gig Harbor, Fox Island, and the Key Peninsula.
Thank you, everyone. Unable to join us this evening is Councilmember Herrera, District 2, which is Edgewood, Milton, Sumner, Puyallup, a little bit of South Hill, I think, and some areas there, and kind of East Central. And my name is Marty Campbell. I represent District 5, where we reside today, due to redistricting. Fife was moved into the 5th district, I think a little over a year ago, and so I wanted to make sure that we're coming out to some of the new areas of the district. We start up at now all the way up to Dash Point, Browns Point, Northeast Tacoma, Fife Heights, of course, lovely Fife here, Port of Tacoma, the Riverside community, Summit, Waller, North Clover Creek, Parkland, I think even a little bit of Spanaway, maybe East Tacoma, where I live, a little bit of South End. So yeah, pretty big encompassing district with a vast array of issues. Many of the same issues that we have in the Dash Point area is not the same as we have in the rural separator, which is not the same as Parkland, but I'm happy to be representing them all. And just happy to have everyone out here. With that, we will get on with tonight's agenda. And first, tonight's meeting. First up, we have approval of the agenda. We have, I think, 3 presentations, just 3 presentations this evening, along with a proclamation. Are there any changes or corrections to tonight's agenda? Okay, seeing none, we will consider it adopted. Next up, we have consent agenda. And do we have anything on consent agenda? We don't, so we can just go on from there. And next up, we have messages from the executive, judges, and prosecuting attorney, and we have Executive Danmeyer joining us today. Executive Danmeyer, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, please. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, members of the council. Bruce Danmeyer. Thank you, Derek. I have the privilege of representing all of the districts in Pierce County here today, and Chair Campbell, good pickup by getting Fife in redistricting. That was a good move. I've represented I represented Fife in the legislature for 8 years, but a little point of personal privilege and a little bit of history on Fife. My family goes way back in Fife. If I'm oriented correctly, the fountain is over there, so my turned around? Okay, so the fountain's back there. Then in 1905, Andres Market would have been about there, which was opened by my great-grandfather. So my grandfather, among other things, when he was a young man, was one of the people tasked with cleaning and maintaining the fountain. So it goes back there. Then my grandfather and his brother ran Andres Market into the 50s, and most significantly in the 40s, when in the war, when their Japanese neighbors were interned. My mom's family did a lot of work to maintain and care for their Japanese neighbors' farms when they were interned, including staying on them and paying the taxes, and then helping them get reestablished when they get back. So we have a lot of history with Fife. And we have a lot of interaction as the county with Fife as well. They are, I don't know, on a per capita basis, they might be one of our strongest partners as we do things today. Mayor Roscoe and I were on the Sound Transit call today. She was, as Pierce County's representatives, 2 of the 4 Pierce County representatives on Sound Transit. And Mayor Roscoe is representing Fife because Fife has a lot at stake. With the Tacoma Link extension coming right through there, it is going to be very significant for this community, so it's very important that they have representation on that, and Mayor Roscoe is doing a great job chairing the ridership.
I'm Vice Chair of System Expansion.
Sorry, Vice Chair of Systems Expansion, which is the capital construction campaign. So doing a great job on that. Also, we serve together along with Council Member Mello on the Port of Tacoma's, the Tide Flats sub-area planning meeting with Fife as one of the 5 governments in there. So we've got that in common. We do a lot of transportation work together, starting in 2015 when in the Connecting Washington Plan, we got the final completion of State Route 167. And I heard many, many, many times that until we get that built, the surface streets of Fife are effectively the the transportation corridor for all of the freight traffic that goes through to the port. They are also have been a big partner with Canyon Road redevelopment, building out 70th all along there. So we've got a lot of transportation interaction with Fife. But it's not just that. One of the areas that I'm really appreciative of Fife is that they have been one of the folks that has really stepped up to be a strong partner addressing homelessness in our region. You know, we're familiar that Tacoma has been a partner, Lakewood's been a partner, and Puyallup's been a partner, but Fife has been a very strong partner, and both dealing with people on the state right-of-way for 167, but also have some really innovative programs to deliver services and employment options for people that are homelessness in the city of Fife. And we continue to work with them on even more opportunities to partner to address that in this community. So Fife is a very good partner for the county and doing very important work, and I'm glad that you could be here for your in-district. And with that, I'd open it up for any questions the council may have.
Oh, any questions for the executive? I think we're going to let you off the hook tonight. But thank you very much for coming out, sharing some remarks. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Next, moving on to proclamations, and I realized I introduced us across up here, but I didn't introduce staff in the room. And as we get to proclamations, this week is also Municipal Clerks Week, as we celebrated, and I celebrated by having two of our clerks come into work tonight, so for that I apologize. But if we could have staff over here, starting with, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Good evening. My name is Denise Johnson. I'm the clerk to the council. Thank you.
Hi, and I'm Susan Long, and I serve as the council's legal advisor.
Hello, I'm Audrey Persons, Associate Clerk.
Brian Dominique, Communications Manager for the council.
And I think we have Larry Stickney, Council Assistant Kruver, and then in the back, Sabrina Chamalier, my assistant, who helped put all this together. So round of applause for Sabrina for her work on this. And she also worked with Emish Market here in Fife for there's food in the green room tonight, provided by them, a wonderful Ukrainian market that we have that down here in Fife that's become very popular. And enjoy some of the food tonight, and then check out the market when you can. It's a wonderful place. Now, moving on to, did I miss anyone when I went around? Okay. I always get reminded tomorrow who I missed, so make sure I cover that tonight. Proclamations. Proclamations, awards, and/or appointments to boards and commissions. We have, if I can go to Chair Mello for a motion.
Thank you, Chair Campbell. I move adoption of Resolution 2023-57.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Clerk, will you please read?
Yes. Proposal number R 2023-57, a resolution of the Pierce County Council proclaiming May 2023 as Hunger Awareness Month in Pierce County, Washington. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that, and I will go ahead and read the proclamation in. Whereas approximately 94,860 adults, children, seniors, active military, and veterans in Pierce County struggle daily with the uncertainty of where their next meal will come from, suffer from food insecurity, and are exposed to malnutrition and other adverse health outcomes. And whereas it is important to address food insecurity endured by the children of Pierce County, as the well-being of our children is an investment in our community's future health, education performance, and economic vitality. And whereas local food pantries experience an average of 172,813 visits every month from people struggling with unemployment, underemployment, and other physical and economic challenges. Whereas the Emergency Food Network must maintain its capacity to distribute more than 12 million pounds of food to its more than 75 partner pantries, meal sites, and shelters every year. And whereas inflation and rising fuel costs affect Pierce County residents and the local emergency food system and have already resulted in increased visits to the emergency food system. And whereas the Pierce County Council allocated significant funding to the Emergency Food Network and food assistance programs, enabling them to continue feeding food insecure individuals and families in Pierce County. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Pierce County Council that the month of May is Hunger Awareness Month in Pierce County, Washington, and we encourage all citizens to support Hunger Awareness Month and recognize the Emergency Food Network and its allies for their outstanding service, leadership, and commitment to providing food for residents of Pierce County. Adopted this the 27th day of April 2023, signed by all members of the Pierce County Council. We have a couple people with us today to share, so if I can have Michelle Douglas and Stacy Sinich. So my coach got me a little off on that one.
He tries to do it. I'm going to go by my first name.
Please.
Thank you so much to everyone on council and all staff and just the entire Pierce.
Is the mic? There we go.
So sorry, pardon. Disconcerting. Thank you so much to the entire council and Pierce County staff for all your support of emergency food services in Pierce County. Some people ask me why May is Hunger Awareness Month, and one of the reasons that we designated May to be Hunger Awareness Month is that there are 70,000 kids in Pierce County schools that are currently receiving free and reduced lunch. And what we know is they all arrive at the food pantry pretty much every month already, but in masses when it comes down to the summertime. And one of the things that we like to say about Hunger Awareness Month is that it is possible for every single person to have at least one action that impacts hunger. So we appreciate the recognition. I want to call in Stacy, who's been a longtime partner with us at Bonnie Lake Food Bank, who's doing awesome work. Maybe you have a word you want to share?
I wasn't expecting for the mic, but thank you. Thank you so much to the council for recognizing May as Hunger Awareness Month. Hunger, I think that how it looks and how it sounds are very different. In our county right now, hunger relief is really the front line of addressing poverty, that it's immediate. Being in a line for housing relief or, unemployment and all of those things we know can take months, whereas being able to address hunger is immediate and puts money right in your pocket so that you can allocate cash flow and keep your car so that you can get back to work. And we just appreciate the partnership of Emergency Food Network in helping us scale like we did out in East Pierce to address and secure food. And just thank you.
Thank you. And Stacy is represents one of the 75 food pantries and hot meal sites that we serve. And I know if all of them were here right now, they would tell you your support has been instrumental to helping us meet the need here in community. And thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll do a public hearing, a few comments from the council, and then we'll do a picture together and present the proclamation. I will go ahead and open up a public hearing on this. Anyone wishing to speak on proclamation number R 2023-57, please come up to the microphone and introduce yourself for the record. Not seeing anyone. Is there anyone on the line sign with their hand raised?
We currently have nobody on Zoom.
Okay. Anyone on Zoom if you wanted to make public comment? So no one's following us tonight. My mom said she was going to sign in. That's why. I think she's outside. All right. Thank you very much. I'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the council for any comments. And I will see which council members want to comment, and I'll start with Chair Mellon.
Thank you, Chair Campbell. Thank you for making this a special part of your in-district meeting. I didn't know that that is the reason why we designate May as Hunger Awareness Month. That's really powerful to understand. Thank you, Ms. Douglas, for helping us understand that. And, something you didn't take the opportunity, you could be there for a long time, as you remarked, sharing about the 75 food pantries and hot meal sites. But one of the really special things about our network is some of that I especially love is the work that Emergency Food Network does at Mother Earth Farm to help people grow food, and some of the other techniques and tools you get out in the community to help folks learn how to grow their own food in their backyard or through a community garden as well in partnership with others. But some of the fresh food that's grown at local farms that get to our food pantries across the county. So I just love the partnership of great places like the market at the Bonnie Lake Sumner Food Bank, and just really, really appreciate all the leadership and the scale that you help bring to the need. Thank you, Chair.
Councilmember Denton.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I was just meeting with some community organizations out in the Key Peninsula this morning that serve children. It's kind of our monthly KP Kids group. And food was a major topic of conversation. Because summer is coming and our food pantry is very concerned. Food backpacks for kids, and I know Stacy and Michelle are familiar with them. And then the other thing that came up a lot is, as you all know, during COVID, kids got free food in school, and that has ended, at least for our school district. And our school districts have seen a drop-off in the families that are applying for free and reduced lunch. So getting those families back online is important, not only so their kids can eat, but also so that the school district gets the funding it needs to feed the kids. And we also talked a lot about the stigma related to getting free and reduced lunches and breaking through that. And I know one of our food pantries out there provides food in the classrooms, in the counselor's office, and often the kids feel comfortable eating there and instead of getting the free and reduced lunches. So there's a lot of issues to work through. But as was commented today, food is so important, and not just any food. Good quality, healthy food is something that we're really trying to push in our district, and I know EFN works hard on, and the members here work hard on as well. It's so important for our children's growth, for their learning, for their happiness and their development. And it's one of the important factors that they need. Is we're trying to make sure our kids have what they need to grow into happy, successful, productive members of our community. So thank you, Michelle, and your team for all your hard work. I do have to, Stacy, you are like a celebrity to us because one of our food pantries, Food Backpacks for Kids, wants to do what you are doing. I know you're familiar with this. I've heard all about your program. I want to come visit. We're super excited and thankful to you that you are showing the way of a really strong food system, not just a pantry, but a whole system with healthy food for the community that is served with respect. So thank you for your work, and I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Councilmember Krueger.
Thank you, Chair. Okay. Yeah, I too want to say thank you. We are grateful and to have such gifted people here to help with the situation. You never really understand the need until you go and see the folks. And we get very busy here, and y'all provide a place that we can go and get some respite and see and drink in the grace that you have, that you give to the folks out there. I'm grateful to have participated, to have walked the warehouse, to see the people. It's also a place where they can gather and visit. So there is a community aspect to it there. And we are just very blessed to have you folks that do what you do, and that you are hardwired quite well and perform well for the folks here in the county. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councilmember Hitchen.
Thank you, Michelle and Stacy, for all of your work. I want to acknowledge the ingenuity that you both rose to a job that you never asked for during COVID, finding ways to get food out the doors. And I do literally mean out the doors, because at the moment we needed food the most, we said everybody stay home. And we ended up turning you into delivery people, which that's not the normal model. You had to figure out how to work with volunteers. I believe the National Guard was called in to be your service. So now all of a sudden you had military in your installations, and you're like, how do I deal with all this? And so it was learning on the job to meet the needs in a pandemic, in a global pandemic. And our community stepped up made sure that you had things that you needed so that people could truly stay alive. So thank you for that and for all of the creativity and leadership that you showed during this time. As far as Hunger Awareness Month, the need has grown in our community nationwide, but in our community exceptionally high because our housing is so incredibly expensive right now. People are often having to choose between eating, medical care, and housing, and they'll suffer with hunger because they want to stay housed because that's so much scarier. And we have seniors that are doing that, and it's just heartbreaking. And we have students that try and go and learn, and it's heartbreaking, and we wonder why they can't succeed in classrooms. It's because they're sitting there with hungry bellies and trying to hide the fact that their stomach is making noises. And so the fact that we are acknowledging this again publicly is important. I hope some of these words in this will actually make you want to go buy some extra boxes of cereal or peanut butter and drop it by whatever food bank or pantry. Anyone sitting on this dais can hook you up with somebody, but we have 75 across the county. A lot of our church organizations house these. They know your neighbors who need help, and they have truly dignified ways to provide that support and help network and get food out the doors to the people that truly need it. So thank you for your work, and thank you for bringing this forward.
Absolutely. Councilmember Morrell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm not going to add too much to it, but just thank you. Thank you for the long hours, the endless questions, and, I think everyone in the system stood up to the plate, delivered, and I think out of this, we can reflect back and then look forward to more innovative ways to deliver food to the public as a whole, and look forward to the continued collaboration within the system. And so with that, again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember. I'll just review a couple numbers here, and we start off with approximately 94,860 adults. I believe that'd be more than 10% of our population. That adults, children, senior, active, that struggle daily with uncertainty of where their next meeting is come. 1 in 10. That's why we have to celebrate months like, well, celebrate, honor months like this. I don't know if it's a celebration of this, but celebrating the work that we're doing and make sure that we're thanking everyone. I know we've got a couple presentations on it later, but with that, I just wanted to thank you for accepting this and for just all the work that you do. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Denton, excuse me. Councilmember Denson.
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin.
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell.
Aye.
Councilmember Mello.
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger.
Aye.
And Councilmember Campbell.
Aye.
The result of the roll call vote is 6 ayes and 0 nays.
And on a vote of 6-0, the resolution is adopted. So Brian, how do we want to set up for a photo on this?
So we just do it as we usually do, come in front of the.
Come in front of the podium?
Have you guys, have the guests come to the back.
Okay. Yep, which I think we're going to need to.
We're going to go in the middle.
Thank you. Oh, my goodness.
Again, thank you all very much for that. Moving on, next on the agenda, we have ordinances. We have no ordinances before us tonight, and we also have no resolutions before us tonight, which brings us to other business. And first up, we have welcome remarks and community update from Derek Matheson, City of Fife City Manager. Derek? And I think you want to introduce some other people here in the room for us?
Yes, I would. Thank you, Vice Chair Campbell. Good evening, council members and Executive Dameyer. I'm Derek Matheson. I'm the city manager here at the City of Fife. Before I get started, I would like to turn over the microphone briefly to Mayor Kim Roscoe. Mayor Roscoe wasn't sure she would make it and is here and would like to welcome you to Fife.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome, Executive Dameyer. Welcome, County Council. I anticipated being in Wallingford this evening, having dinner with friends from college after the Sound Transit meeting, but two things. Didn't want to travel, and thought it would be fun to see some different faces on the dais. And with that, I'm going to take a selfie. Everybody, cheese. Yeah, thank you. We also have Councilmember Lou Wolfram is here tonight, and odds are that he walked or rode his bike here. I walked here. Interestingly enough, we have 3 council members that live on the exact same street, within just a few houses of each other. And Councilmember Wolfram's mother-in-law was the last strong mayor in Fife and was the only other female mayor of Fife. So he's been contributing and getting involved all along the way. It was great to hear about Executive Dameyer's roots here as well. And that fountain has meant a lot to every council since I've been serving. And it's cost us a lot of money moving it, restoring it. But to, whoever had the foresight to preserve it in the first place, I'm grateful, because it really is a very welcoming site, and it holds a lot of history to be able to point to it and say, yeah, this was a horse trough back in the day. This was at the crossroads. That was the first roundabout. That was the first. Where's Pat Hulsey, who is not a fan of roundabouts? So yeah, just welcome, and it really is great I see a lot of your faces very frequently. South Sound Housing Affordability Partnership, Pierce Transit. So I am grateful for Pierce County's attention and engagement and support of the City of Fife, and just welcome you to our chambers. I was first on City Council and Planning Commission 20-something years ago, and even back then we were televising, recording our meetings. So we've gone through a couple iterations of that technology. We're glad it's working out. We're glad the big van didn't need to come. And fun fact, did you know that Brian's on our Planning Commission? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't. That's not news. Darn it. Thought I was going to surprise you. So, yeah, welcome. And I'm glad to see you've got some constituents here. Where did Jen go? She'll be back. There she is. And I'm going to turn it back over to Derek. Thank you.
Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, and Vice Chair Campbell, thank you again for choosing Fife for your in-district meeting. I'm here to present a community update this evening, or as I like to think of it as Fife 101.
Derek, before you get started, do these turn on?
They do.
I think they're controlled by Robins.
Okay.
Robins on first.
Top button, maybe. We didn't go through the technology update.
Down under the dais?
Yep. Oh.
Aha.
You're a full-service mayor.
Things I should have asked before we got started, but All right, it's not, we've got printed out PowerPoints here, so we're good, so.
Nope. Sorry. It usually shows what's on that.
Well, apologies. Hopefully your font is large enough.
Oh, yes.
All right, I thought I would start with our city leadership here. We have a 7-member city council. They are elected at large for 4-year terms. Every 2 years, the council elects one of its own as mayor for a 2-year term, and then every year the council elects one of its own as deputy mayor. The mayor chairs regular meetings of the city council, while the deputy mayor chairs council study sessions. I'm the city manager. Megan Gendrick is our newly appointed assistant city manager, in addition to her duties as director of our Parks, Recreation, and Aquatics Department. One thing I like to point out is that Fife is the only city that's located entirely on the Puyallup Tribe of Indians reservation. So other cities, Tacoma, Puyallup, Milton, have pieces of the reservation, but we are entirely located within the boundaries of the reservation. So that makes relationships extremely important here in the city of Fife. We are located in the 6th Congressional District, the 27th Legislative District, and the County Council's 5th District. Fun fact, we moved districts across the board after the 2020 census, at the federal level, the state level, and the county level as well. And we're enjoying developing new relationships with our representatives, and things are going very well for us. A little bit about Fife. Our population is only 11,130, which is a surprise to a lot of people given the commercial activity, the amount of transportation infrastructure in our city limits. Our daytime population officially increases by 109%, but that doesn't take into account all of the vehicles on the road and the people passing through Fife on I-5 and Highway 99. So our city services have to be scaled to serve a city much larger than our official population. We're just shy of 6 square miles with just under 2,000 licensed businesses. We have a budget of $173 million, 118 full-time employees, and 39 part-time employees. We have our own police department. We have 34 full-time sworn law enforcement officers and 9 civilian police employees. Like most law enforcement agencies in the region, state, and even across the country, we've had recruiting challenges in recent years, but I'm pleased to report that within the last 6 months or so, we have seen an increase in both entry-level applications and lateral applications. So we are headed towards full staffing and optimistic that we can get there within the next 12 months or so. We have our own municipal court as well. Within the municipal court, we're proud to have a community court program, which is a therapeutic court that's designed to help people get the assistance they need and not just impose consequences. We established it in March of last year with a grant from the Administrative Office of the Courts at the state level, and it requires collaboration among the municipal court, the city attorney's office, the police department, and the public defender's office. It's very resource intensive, provides everything from basic needs like clothing, transportation, and healthcare to more substantial services like behavioral health counseling and substance abuse services. And when we're always looking for ways to improve our ability to provide housing support for those who are in need, in addition to other basic needs. We have a robust park system, and we're quite proud of it. We have 8 parks, over 147 acres within our 6 square miles. Some pictures there in the upper left, that's Levy Pond Park near the Puyallup River in the south portion of our city. DACA Park, which is just south of City Hall here. The lower left is Brookville Gardens, which is really our signature park or central park. We're very proud of that. And then in the lower right is one of our play areas as well. We're also very proud that we're a regional provider of recreation at our aquatic center and our community center. We have over 4,000 annual visits to our aquatic center. What's staggering about that is 92% of our users are from outside Fife. And we've looked at a zip code survey, and it really is from all over Pierce County and even South King County. So if you learned how to swim in this part of the Pacific Northwest, the chances are some of that swim education happened here at the Fife Aquatic Center. We're very excited that coming in the summer of 2024, we're going to have our community's first splash pad. That's at Colburn Park, which is immediately adjacent to the Aquatic Center. That has been a fairly simple park for Aquatic Center users and a neighborhood park for people who live in nearby multifamily housing. But we're taking out the play equipment and installing a splash pad. And our vision for phase 2 would be to add parking for neighborhood users who are a little bit farther than are able to walk, as well as picnic spaces. And I should add, phase 1 includes a restroom building as well, which is consistently near the top of our park users' requests. We're also very proud that community events are back in Fife. These are just some pictures from recent events. Starting on the left is our annual Harvest Festival on the first Saturday in October. One of the biggest attractions and the one that we enjoy the most is called Council Corn, where Fife City Council members roast, butter, and serve free corn to members of the public. And so it's a fun opportunity to interact with the people they serve. You see across the top the Touch-a-Truck, music in the park that happens in the months of July and August. The lower right, quite obviously, is our Easter Festival. We have our Sweetheart Dance, which we used to call our father-daughter dance, but we've tried to open that up and make it a little bit more inclusive. And then our Santa Breakfast at the Community Center, which is often a sellout. So excited that we're able to engage with our residents again. As Executive Dameyer mentioned, transportation in Fife is huge. Sound Transit is extending its rail line through Federal Way in Fife to Tacoma. And while the station location and exact alignment are still under discussion, we know it's going to come right through the heart of Fife, north of Pacific Highway, roughly north of the Emerald Queen Casino. And so this is a big opportunity for the city of Fife to realize our vision for a true city center. And so we've been planning for a number of years and will continue to plan to see mixed use, including ground floor retail and commercial, upper floor housing that's affordable to a wide variety of incomes, all centered around that transit center and light rail station. Speaking of housing, housing availability and affordability is very important to Fife. I heard a statistic recently that the average rent in Fife actually exceeds the average rent in the city of Tacoma. And it's probably a scarcity issue because there aren't a lot of housing alternatives here in the city of Fife. We are a founding member of the South Sound Housing Availability, Affordability, and I'm going to forget the third A partnership, accessibility?
Attainability.
Okay, attainability, thank you. And our Sound Transit station is crucial for us to achieve more housing because that's where we can put the density that we need in a community that's largely built out. Continuing on the transportation theme, the SR 167 Gateway project goes right through our community. when it extends from its current terminus at Meridian and Puyallup west and north through Fife to State Route 509. That is under construction right now between I-5 and 509, and a couple of years behind between 509 and to our east and south city limits. So that's a big change for our community, but also a positive in that it provides a route for a lot of the truck traffic that use 54th Avenue and other city surface streets. Another project underway right now is Port of Tacoma Road. That is all phases combined, a roughly $120 million project that our city is undertaking. The sections in blue were finished a year or two ago. We'll be starting late this year or early next year on the portions in red, and then we're cobbling together final funding for the portions in green. But that creates a one-way couplet there at Port of Tacoma Road. Some have called it a squareabout in the way it functions there over I-5, but that will also serve to move truck traffic in and out of the Port of Tacoma and alleviate congestion on Fife surface streets. And then because one freeway interchange project isn't enough for a city of 11,000, we're already thinking about I-5 and 54th Avenue. That will be a multi-phase project as well. Could be as many as 5, 6, or 7 phases when all is said and done. We've already received a federal grant to start the design of the first phase, which would replace the on-ramps to the west, and it gets kind of confusing because our north-south I-5 runs east-west through Fife, but it would create a new partial interchange there, roughly where McDonald's is on the north side, and then a mirror image on the south side. So that is something that we will tackle as we complete Port of Tacoma Road. And then I thought I would end with regional involvement. This slide is hard to read, and that really is the point. Each one of those lines is a regional forum in which one of our city council members is involved. So it's very important to the Fife City Council to be involved in Pierce County and the larger Puget Sound region. And every year the council makes assignments to these various roles, and I know they work side by side with you in many of these forums as well. So we're very proud of our outsized regional involvement as a city. And that concludes my presentation, and happy to respond to any questions.
All right, let me check with my colleagues and see what questions they may have.
Mr. Sheriff?
Yes, Executive Dan Meyer.
I think the city manager neglected to tell the council something significant about their city manager, perhaps when she was a student at Emerald Ridge High School and shortly thereafter. Your assistant city manager?
Yeah, oh, yeah. So our new assistant city manager is an Olympic gold medalist in swimming. Her name today is Megan Gendrick. You might remember her better as Megan Kwan, a Puyallup and Pierce County native.
It's kind of a big deal.
We'll be very proud of that. And any other unique history that you failed to mention?
I might come up with it later at 3 a.m. You never know.
Again, any other questions from my colleagues? I do see that I didn't get a chance to attend it, but I know you guys opened up the new Fife Tesla Service Center.
Yes.
Over here, one of the largest in the United States. Service centers. And so how many car dealerships do you all have here?
Boy, I don't know off the top of my head, but auto dealerships are really the backbone of the Fife economy at this point, ranging from recreational vehicles to high-end passenger vehicles to the types of passenger vehicles that you and I would drive. You can find them all here on both sides of the freeway in Fife.
All right. Well, excellent. Congratulations on landing that Tesla Service Center.
We're very excited to have it.
I think it is the next one to the south is in Portland. So you're, if you live anywhere between here and Portland, you're picking it up in Fife. So very good. All right. Thank you very much. And thank you for hosting today. What lovely chambers you guys have here, and so thank you, Fife, for your hospitality today.
Our
We
pleasure,
greatly
and thank you
appreciate
for
it.
being here.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have a presentation on the state of food insecurity in Pierce County. We'll welcome back up Michelle Douglas from Emergency Food Network.
I feel so much more informed about Fife now. I'm very excited to have learned so much. Again, just a large thank you to the entire council, Representative Dammeier. Your support has been integral for Emergency Food Network for over 41 years. So just an acknowledgement of how important those long-term partnerships have been for us. Could you go to the next slide, please? So when we think about Emergency Food Network and what we do and what our role is in Pierce County and the current situation of hunger, what I would want you to know is that these are pretty rough times. So many of us thought we'd seen the height of food insecurity during the COVID pandemic. And what I can tell you is we've actually never seen higher numbers than we're experiencing at this point in time. And when we think about how we're feeding people in Pierce County, I think it's so important to understand the way the network works. So there are 75 food pantry partners. We're really excited to be adding a couple new food pantry partners in the next 6 months. And the way that we think about food pantries and hot meal sites as kind of like vehicles. And so they are vehicles to the most important part of this network, which is the 1 in 10 people that are currently hungry on the end. And when I say 1 in 10, what I would want you to know is stats are slow to catch up. And so while I do have a great stat from Feeding America that it's 1 in 10, I can tell you if we were on the ground today, it would be higher. It might be closer to 1 in 8. Because what we're seeing at this moment in time in the food pantry world and the food bank world is that people are currently accessing the food pantries that have never had to use them before. At one point, we had a statistic that most visitors to the food pantry would access at most about 3 times a year. What we know now is we see many of those same working families every single week. So as their budgets have gotten incredibly stretched, it has become impossible every week to not be able to feed your family. And I don't think that's what we want for our community. I know it's not what I want. We've been doing a lot of work around how we reduce the barriers to food access. How do we provide food, emergency food, in a model that has the most dignity possible, that has the food that people want to eat, the food that people can eat, the food that's healthy for them, the food that is responsive to their needs and their families' needs. That barrier reduction has been part of EFN's statewide work, and you really see that in the Emergency Food Assistance Program, which is a statewide program that we have about 40 of our 75 partners are part of. That means that one of the things that's really come out of that program is this idea that you can get food wherever you are. So what if you work here in Fife, but you actually, your address is closer to Thurston, or you work in Seattle, but you live in Tacoma? There shouldn't be a barrier of geographic to limit your ability to get food. That's one of the pieces we've been really working on. And the other piece is really making sure that those networks to get connected to services are as robust as possible. Sometimes people ask me, why would you have 75 partners? And what I'll tell you is Pierce County is huge. You all know it, right? The difference between a food pantry in Gig Harbor and a food pantry out in Parkland, Spanaway, and so forth, that's a huge geographic. So we need food pantries where people are. Next slide, please. You asked me about Hunger Awareness Month before. We're deeply grateful to receive the proclamation. But if I were to tell you what is most important about Hunger Awareness Month, it is number one, that people understand your neighbors are hungry. When we think about what that 1 in 10 means, it's staggering. I mean, there's, 30 of us in the room here. If we think about it statistically, that's 3 people at least in this room that are currently experiencing food insecurity. And so Hunger Awareness Month is not just for Emergency Food Network, right? It's for our entire system. It's for all 75 food pantries. It's for the 2 million visitors to food pantries across the county last year. It's for everyone. And what I'm really telling you is that hunger is not going to be solved in Pierce County by Emergency Food Network. It's not going to be solved by any of our partners. It's going to be solved by all of us working together. It is going to take every single one of us to make an impact. You're going to hear my call to action at the end, but just take a look at it because there's some way that you can engage with us. Next slide, please. I talked about that 1 in 10 slide, that 1 in 10 statistic. And when we think about that and we think about who that is, it's exactly the people that were mentioned in the proclamation, right? It's active duty military, staggering quantity of active duty military members needing access to food pantries. There is not a food pantry on the base. We are able to get to some of them through home delivery, and we also have a lot of events that are right outside those borders with JBLM, but these are people that have signed up to serve our country, and they literally are not getting enough food in order to be able to survive. And when we think about the folks that are accessing the food pantry, often only one of them can work because they don't have the family supports that might allow for another job. They can't get connected to childcare. And so when we think about who is actually using the food pantry, they're each of them making really, really difficult decisions. It might be the decision to eat today, or it might be the decision to have a poor tooth fixed, or it might be the decision to get their car working, or to be able to get their kid to school. It is staggering that level of hardship that people are experiencing that need food. And when we think about who here in Pierce County is hungry, the fastest rising group of people we see visiting the food pantry is parents of children that already have 1 to 3 jobs in their household. Think about that. When we think about what happens when SNAP is reduced, as it has been, that on average is at least an $85 reduction in food for the month. It's really, really impactful. The other thing that I think it's important to understand, and this was brought up earlier, but is what is that long-term impact of that level of poverty? It is poor health outcomes. 80% of health outcomes are not related to going to the doctor, right? They are having access to food, having access to shelter, being able to get medication when they need it, and not making those trade-offs between buying food and actually getting the medication that you need to control your diabetes. These are all really, really significant factors. I want to really highlight what we saw in 2022. It's the biggest year that emergency food services in Pierce County has ever seen. We're not a grocery store. We don't like it when we sell more, right? We find it devastating. So in 2022, there were 2 million visits to the network just in our community, and not every food pantry that's located in Pierce County is part of the emergency food network for us. And so when we think about that, that's higher than the numbers that we saw in the height of the COVID pandemic. It's over 100% higher than we saw in 2019 before the pandemic started. And it is devastating. So many of the supports that we saw in 2020, they're gone. Government food assistance is down by 60%. The amount of donated product is down significantly across the entire country. One of the things that happened during COVID is that grocery stores got much better at keeping track of their inventory. We got more middle people that were able to move food and move it quicker. And what that means at the end of the game is that less food goes to the emergency food system like us. So we've been buying food at record rates, over $1.6 million worth of food, which is over 1 million pounds of food. We've been talking to so many people. I love that we're here in Fife today because this is gold. This is the I-5 corridor, right? Any load that is refused is potentially, if we do our job correctly, left here in Pierce County so that it can go out to our neighbors in need. This is crucial to this, where we're located on this freeway. And when we think about who else is getting food, I talked about this number earlier. 52% of students in Pierce County qualify for free and reduced cost lunch. That is, at max, 2 meals a day that they're getting. What you said, Representative Dennison, about people not signing up, a lot of people don't know that they need to because they didn't during the height of COVID. And then we also have the incredibly chilling effect of non-documentation and immigration and people that are afraid it may affect their opportunity to get status here. That is a chilling, everyday reality for people that need food. Can we go to the next slide, please? So when we think about how we're meeting the need, I talked a little bit about our distribution center. We are partnering with every single person we have out there. We've started this, we call it the Thursday call, and the Thursday morning call looks like a call to all of our big distributors. It looks like Del Monte, do you have any apples? Do you have any pineapple? Do you have any bananas? All the way through our list to say, we can receive it and we can turn it around. Our turnaround time is about 48 hours. We get on average 5 calls a week from food pantries that are telling us they are out of food. And this is not about we need to stretch it further or mismanagement. It is about a level of need that we have literally never experienced before. Representative Mello mentioned our Mother Earth farm. We're really proud of the work that we're doing out there. 8 acres, it's growing about 80,000 pounds of food. And it's also reflective of this greater commitment that we have going on right now, where we're buying as much as we can from local farmers. That's been super exciting. That is an opportunity for people that need resources to get food right here from their community. And I think about Amy from Mother Earth Farm, from 4 Elements Farm. She said to me one day, this was our dream. We dreamed that we would be able to do food for the food bank, but we could never afford to do it. And because now you're able to, achieve some local grants that can buy this produce, we are giving back to the community. We use the food bank as a family for a really long time. And so I love things like that. I would also tell you we are doing every creative program that we can think of, from a Ukrainian distribution program, incredible quantities of immigrants here in our county. We should be able to welcome them and also help them get a start. And I love the work that we're doing on this, and we have so much more work to do. I also would say one of the things that EFN has really worked on is the difference between a can of regular beans, which are basically steeped in sodium, and the price point on that versus a can of low sodium beans is like 5 cents a can. So when, at the wholesale rate. But so when we're thinking about that, like our commitment to a nutritional value, when we think about who's using the food bank and what are the health impacts and what's their access to medical services and the rates of hypertension and diabetes in our community, it's essential that food pantries have enough funding and enough food in order to make these really hard choices. Because what we know is the long-term impact down the road, not to mention just like the dignity of having food that's good for you and healthy for you, but the long-term health impact, it costs all of us. It costs us not to have food for people. Next slide, please. Okay, so what do I most want to tell you? I want to tell you just this short story about Emergency Food Network and one of the things that we did and a lot of other food pantries did during the pandemic, which was to start home delivery. It's a model that almost didn't exist here in Pierce County in 2019. And when we think about it, what we were saying to folks is, you're going to be just fine to get there. You're going to be okay to get to the food bank. We have a challenging transportation system. We have a wide geographic area in Pierce County, and we have just a lot of impediments to being able to get to food. And that might be, a lack of car, it might be a health concern, all of those things. So we started what we thought was a short-term program. And I highlight this because I think it talks about what is ahead for the system. We started with 5 families in 2020. We deliver every single week to 250 families now. Our numbers don't go down, they just go up. We have a waiting list right now. We're adding more people to that program. And what it tells me is our community is not okay. Our community needs our ongoing support. And when we think about what are our measures of success for how we judge how well we're doing, I would put out the challenge that having everybody that needs access to food in our county be able to get it is an incredible measure of our success, and we're not there. We need your ongoing support. One of the things that you've done as a council is to provide funding, especially since 2020, that we have used to buy food, fund the operations of Emergency Food Network, because we also are the safety net in the case of an emergency. This is the first place people go for food. And then also to do pass-through funds to these 75 food pantries. It is crucial that people can go to a food pantry in their community. It is essential that they be able to make those connections, that they be seen, that they be recognized, that they be they kind of be loved up a little bit, right? We all need to feel like we have somewhere to go. And so that kind of support has been incredible. I would ask everybody on Zoom, here in the council chambers, to figure out what your action is in order to help impact the need. And if you were to walk out of here with just one fact, I would tell you, we have never been busier. Every month this year, so January, February, March, April, I just keep thinking we're going to hit a slowdown, right? It has to come. But instead, every month we're up 40% over last year's numbers. So in a way, the level of need is even so much more significantly high right now than it was in the height of the pandemic. And then we also see these opportunities. I mean, I love the work that you all are doing for housing. And I would say that housing and food this is literally, people cannot survive without these things. So I want to commend you on that. And I just want to say too, we have to always be thinking about both, right? We want a community that is not just barely surviving. We want a community that is thriving. And so when you're making your decisions, when you're thinking about what your action's going to be in the month of May to combat hunger, I hope you're thinking about your local food bank. I hope you're thinking about Emergency Food Network. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the presentation and acknowledgement of the realities that we have here in our county. I'll open it up to my colleagues for any questions they may have. Okay, well, I think you pretty well explained things. I do have a couple. What is your monthly budget that you are spending on food insecurity in Pierce County?
So the EFN's kind of cash budget is $6 million that we spend throughout the year. We spend between 1.3 and about 1.8 on direct food purchase. In addition, we move about an in-kind value of about $25 million worth of food. And this is barely a drop in the bucket. As I said, we receive calls from multiple food banks every single week telling us they don't have enough resources.
Councilmember Denton.
I actually thought of a question. Thank you for being here and for all your work. How is it determined what food different pantries get? Are they able to order things that are, that their clients are telling them they want, or is it just a package deal, you get what you get? How does that work?
That is an excellent question, and it's multi-pronged answered. So I'll try to be brief, but just to kind of get in it. So we are the distributor for the Emergency Food Assistance Program, which is otherwise known as TFAP, which is the federal government. We participate in a buying group for them. So we are able to give insight, but it's like insight in a very narrow channel. So we don't get a whole lot of options there. Where we focus the majority of our decision making around being culturally responsive and bringing in food that is, really underappreciated sometimes in the general marketplace and hard to find. I mean, you're not going to find it at your 7-Eleven and things like that, is through our co-op food buying program. So we get our information on that from food pantries, and then also we comb all of the different surveys. So sometimes our food pantries will do individual surveys of their clients, and we look really hard at those to help us ascertain what we should buy. One of the things that we know is, in particular, marginalized communities are greatly, greatly oversurveyed. So in order to not duplicate that impact for them, we try to take a lot of input from the University of Washington. We also work very closely right now with CHI Virginia Mason, and we're working a lot on improving the nutrition quality. Our farm managers go out to different food pantries also throughout the year to see what we should grow. We grow over 100 varietals of food on our farm, and I often say that's based on what people miss. So if you think about your own childhood, there was probably a food that meant home to you, and that's what we want to try to get into the hands of people. We also survey all of our home delivery participants to find out what they liked, what they didn't. And one of the things that we've really learned from buying local, especially in January and February, is that education is required. I don't know how good you all are at cooking sunchokes, but I've had a lot to learn. And what that means is we send out recipes, I think the best thing to know about EFN is we're deeply engaged in partnership. So we have different schools that work on recipes with us, we have dietitians, Because just because you put food in a person's box, right, doesn't mean that they know how to eat it. We have a small community garden at our site, and one of the ladies came up to me after like our first harvest of carrots. She said, well, why are they so dirty? And I said, well, they just came out of the ground. And she's like, why don't you have a carrot tree? And I was like, that's not how carrots grow, right? And so when I think about that, I think so much of food is education. For the last couple of years, we've done 20,000 starts out to community members, so they kind of pick the vegetables that they wanted to grow. And I would tell you that people tell us, and we try to very, very much respond to all of that. That said, we are also trying to cater our services to the most impacted. So that's why we have a hypertensive diabetic box, right? That's what we try to do for everyone, because everyone has health outcomes. And they need healthy food to survive. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Okay.
You said that we have 75, I think, used food pantries. And I think what a misnomer that is, because I don't think there's a single one that all they do is hand out food.
No. It's like the first spot for community, right? It's that hello at the door. It's the phone call that we make to set them up with services. It's maybe recognizing, you know, with a different service model that they're not able to get there during regular hours. And then it's also the number one place that people are connected to other resources, whether that's housing or utility assistance or their wealth of knowledge. And the new food pantries that we're bringing on right now are really, really focused in on communities that EFN is not currently serving to the best of our ability. I think the best part of our model is that we don't have to be it all for everyone. We act as a vehicle to make partnerships.
And I mean, I see so much more diapers, blankets, again, food pantry is a misnomer because they are really lifeline for so many of these people in so many more ways than just food, which is incredibly important. I don't see any more questions for you, but before you leave, I'd actually like to have Stacy come up again and share a story that she shared at our agricultural community about a month ago about how just our loss of our meat processing impacted your organization and how you had to do above and beyond simply being a food pantry. Incredibly inspiring for me, so if you would share.
Oh, thank you.
I know you didn't come here to talk,
I
but
totally didn't.
It was nice of you to come out and support me, though.
I know, I gave a text before I came. For those of you that don't know, the Bonnie Lake Food Bank and our project, The Market, half of our operating budget goes to purchasing local goods. So part of the project is exploring circular economy and creating bounty within localized community, also securing supply chain. We learned a lot during the pandemic. I think I started my job 10 days before, so I had to be a quick study and learn on the job. But what I noticed in comparison to my old world is that, one, as a society, we are incredibly vulnerable and at the mercy of supply chain at all times. And we didn't really realize that before. We've spent many decades centralizing our efforts. I know for Nordstrom, everything came out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and that's where I spent my time flying back and forth. I think that what we learned in the pandemic is localized is really the key to having a thriving food economy. And so with that, when we moved out to the farm, one of the sort of natural connections that we were trying to make is where does food come from? And really letting the community fill in the blanks of that story, and they did. I was not surprised. Our community is wonderful. That they really wanted to see local foods and have access to that. When Michelle was talking about Amy at Four Elements, it's incredibly meaningful. You know, farmers have earned the right to be at the head of the table in the fight against hunger. They have not been there before and have not been able to feed their entire community and know that. And many farmers are very tough, but they do break down when they talk about that they, for their lives, their bodies, their families, everything is on the line to produce that product. And to know that only a small percentage of the population can actually have access to it did not feel meaningful to them at all. So that being said, we have become a lifeline for our community in multiple ways, but the agricultural community that has, if a farmer's having a tough day, they walk into my she shed that's kind of right beside the farm there, and we talk it through about what we're going to do. So with the funding from the WSDA to be able to purchase localized foods, farmers like Brooks, who is a hog farmer just 2 miles up the road, we've been able to support him with $70,000 year to date to be able to continue to have a thriving protein business. He periodically will show up at my door saying, "It's done. Today I'm done." We can't get a butcher appointment. I have called every meat processing plant in the state, and I can't get in. It's 18 months out. In 18 months, I'll go under. So I'm just going to call it today. And so, I'm like, okay, hold on. We can do some invoices. We can do this. I'm constantly revisiting my old world and dating POs and trying to get invoices in. Brooks called me and said, "Stace, I got an appointment. I got an appointment in Eastern Washington." It was, we weren't anticipating, spending another $10,000 that week on protein, but we were able to wire it to him while he was driving my truck over to Eastern Washington and make sure that his family was okay, that he could pay his grain bill. Farmers are in the red all the time, by the way. They're just in the red. To get into the black is success for them. So for him to be able to net zero was a big deal. But what I said in that meeting was how interesting a world that we're living in, that a food bank is bailing out our local agricultural economy. That is a thing that is happening now. But is that really sustainable? So just thinking about how fragile all of this is, and part of our work is about stabilizing that, and food security is stabilizing all of it. That is what is going to kind of get us through to a more sustainable and successful food economy.
And I think to Stacy's point, if it's okay if I add
Of course.
on, your funding supports that, but so do many other fundings. And what we know is all of that funding pretty much ends at the end of 2023. So it's already significantly decreased, but to have that much funding to be able to get those supplies, as we see the end of ARPA dollars and CARES dollars and things like that, those funds go away. And what we are, I think, here to tell you is the need doesn't. So none of that shifts with those losses. And we're going to need your support to be able to meet the need in Pierce County. Yeah.
Thanks.
Any other things?
No, I think.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Deeply,
you.
deeply appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stacey.
All right, moving on the agenda, and Pierce County, we have a role in actually addressing food insecurity through our Pierce County, and so I have Anika Moran with Pierce County Human Services, Special Advisor to the Director, to talk about food insecurity and what we as Pierce County government do to address it.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here today. My name is Anika Moran, and I'm the Special Advisor to the Director for Pierce County Human Services. Can I click through myself here? Or do I need to say next? Okay, next slide. Thank you. So I just wanted to kind of lead off with informing you all a little bit about what we did during the pandemic and getting us up to where we are today. So during the pandemic, obviously, we know that COVID affected our community in many ways. Food was no exception. We saw a huge increase in households experiencing food insecurity in the community. The numbers up there are taken from a survey done by the University of Washington and Washington State University. This particular iteration of the survey, I think, saw about 400 Pierce County households participate. There was a big increase, as I said, and we did see that BIPOC residents were 1.5 times as likely to be food insecure as white respondents. And we also saw that food insecurity particularly affected households with children. So during the pandemic, we engaged in the food system in a variety of new ways. And I will say, so that first bullet point there, Tacoma Farmers Market, SNAP Market Match, that's my personal bias as the former executive director of Tacoma Farmers Market. That was actually a program that spanned all the Pierce County farmers markets, not just TFM. That was a contract run through the Human Services Department, so I've been on both sides of that now. And it bolstered the SNAP Market Match program, which doubles food stamps at the market. We also contracted with Emergency Food Network for increased food access at food pantries during the pandemic. We typically, before the pandemic and up till today, did a lot of congregate meals for older adults and other homebound individuals. The congregate meals essentially dropped to zero during the pandemic, and so we, similar to EFN, introduced home deliveries. We had been doing some, but they drastically increased during the pandemic. The Essentials giveaways run by our community action programs didn't actually give away food, but I think something that has been referenced here multiple times is the decision-making that is involved in a household budget. And so what we gave away were things like hygiene items and other necessities, gas cards, that sort of thing. And so that freed up household budgets so that they could be more flexible with their food. And then our CAP program also participated on the Regional Food System Partnership Steering Committee, which is a project facilitated by the Northwest Agricultural Business Center that really focuses on connecting farms and other food system projects to organizations and resources at the local level, helps them secure funding, develop business plans, get resource assistance, et cetera. So CAP was integral to bringing sort of a new and unique voice into that food system space. And then we also continued many of our ongoing human services food programs during the pandemic. Next slide, please. So during, you saw some statistics from during COVID. What we're looking at now are statistics that are currently affecting our state. So this is the same survey taken about 2 years after by the University of Washington and Washington State University as the statistics that you saw before. So this just wrapped up in January of 2023. They oversampled low-income households in order to get a really good picture of what is happening in low-income households. So this isn't saying that 31% of households with children have very low security statewide. It's saying that 31% of their sample did. And it's not surprising that 31% of low-income households sampled do have very low food security, but it is very disturbing. And we continue to see that disparity in food assistance for BIPOC households, households with children, renters, and rural and large households compared to the average household in the state. And while we can't directly attribute food insecurity as the cause, as Michelle mentioned, we know that food is a big part of health outcomes, and 43% of households that said they were experiencing food insecurity also rated their health and their diet as poor or fair. So even for households not experiencing food insecurity, the cost of groceries was in the top 3 financial concerns, so for all income levels. Next slide, please. So then looking at Pierce County, again, this is the more recent survey, so this was done December and January, most recent December and January. We see 28% of households that were sampled have very low food security. And what very low food security means is that those households are experiencing disrupted eating patterns or reduced intake. And that is very troubling. We heard about some of the ramifications of hungry bellies. Low food security, which affects 23% of households sampled, are households that are reporting reduced quality, variety, or desirability of food. And that 56% of households that used any food assistance is higher than the state average, which is 49%. One statistic that I do not have up there, but is from the Feeding America data that Michelle presented earlier, is that 1 in 6 kids in Pierce County struggles with food security. And then we have information from our Aging and Disability Resources Division survey of aging adults. And you can see that food ranks as the top need or priority for older adults in the county, and it's the 4th highest need for adults with disabilities. Next slide, please. So these are some of our divisions and our programs that offer food-related programs. So our food-related programs are generally embedded into the other work that we do. They aren't so often standalone programs, but instead they're integral to supporting households where they are. Next slide, please. Our Aging and Disability Resources Division does a lot with food. My personal favorite of theirs is the Senior Farmers Market vouchers. It's a really powerful program. Again, speaking from the other side of that, I've seen just the impact that that program can have. When I was at the farmers market, the vouchers were worth $40 a summer, and last year they increased to $80, and it looks like that's going to be a permanent increase into this year. We expect to see a 30% increase in their use this year. And last year we distributed 5,707 vouchers, which is powerful. We do a lot of advertising for those vouchers in multiple languages. And again, speaking from the farmers market side, I know we often had limited English proficient communities coming to the market and being just so excited to see Ukrainian varieties of vegetables or Asian varieties of greens that aren't often seen elsewhere. So I think it's a very powerful program. We have gone back to congregate meals, so most congregate meal sites are open again. We've continued to do home delivered meals, and those numbers are above what they were pre-pandemic. It's a great nutritious meal that we are able to deliver to homebound people, and we do to-go meals as well with the Aging and Disability Resources Program. Next slide, please. So ECAP is an interesting one. Because we provide meals to the kids while they're at school. So we have a number of ECAP locations throughout the county. Most are English speaking. We do have one Spanish speaking classroom. The meals that they're served do depend on the time of day. So they might get breakfast and a snack or lunch and a snack. And the meals are USDA meals. So they're very much what you think about when you think sort of free and reduced lunch. And so we are exploring ways to integrate other fresher food into the kids' meals and those household diets in general. So thinking about this, I don't want to get ahead of the department here. This is pipe dream, personal dream here of mine is some sort of school garden project. We're also talking to our WSU partners about how to get their educators out in front of the parents of those kids. Next slide, please. Our veterans program provides vouchers for a number of different things, food, rent, utilities, medical, and burial services. So food is just part of an array of other services that are offered. The amount of the voucher depends on the household size, and depending on income, they can receive the food vouchers every 4, 6, or 12 months. Last year we did 720 food vouchers, and this year we're already up to 222 food vouchers for veterans. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, we work with WSU Extension. So WSU has the expanded food and nutrition education program, as well as the supplemental nutrition assistance program, so FNEP and SNAP Ed. The FNEP program works by providing 9 to 12 lessons offered in multiple languages with a focus on household nutrition and food affordability, so how to eat nutritiously on a budget. And SNAP Ed partners with over 20 organizations that serve SNAP-eligible residents with a focus on nutrition education for older youth, adults, and seniors. In 2022, more than a quarter of SNAP Ed participants were youth. And the program currently teaches nutrition in conjunction with Tacoma Public Schools and the Clover Park School District. They work with 600 students in the zip codes 98404, 98409, and 98499. Next slide, please. Ukrainian food assistance is a 2022 effort, obviously. Working with Emergency Food Network, we contracted with EFN to get food out to Ukrainian arrivals coming here from the conflict with Russia. EFN did a fantastic job of providing both basic food and Ukrainian-specific food boxes. They were very creative. They hosted 2 large distribution resource events for Ukrainian households at their Lakewood location and have been holding Ukrainian-specific distribution hours at the warehouse. And they actually also partnered for a large distribution with the Bonnie Lake Food Bank, or also known as the Market, as well as Tacoma Community House getting food boxes dropped there. Next slide, please. So unfortunately, SNAP recipients saw an average reduction of $82 a month in benefits starting last month. That is going to increase the need for food pantries in our county. And as has been discussed already this evening, when we get into the summer months, we start to see more need amongst students. So 70,000 students in Pierce County are about to lose access to free and reduced cost meals when the school year ends. I will also add that as we're all experiencing, food prices increased 10.4% in the Seattle-Tacoma Bellevue area from February of 2022 to February of 2023. And I think that's reflected in the increased visits to food pantries, and it's just a sad state for us to be in. So in the Human Services Department, we are exploring ways that we can support the community with increased food security. So we're just starting with some small things. We're going to do a food drive in honor of Hunger Awareness Month in May. We're providing an educational opportunity for all county employees. WSU is going to be doing an Our Family lunch and learn for everyone. We're holding a plant swap that includes food plants and talks by master gardeners, and we're exploring how to work with the Hunger-Free Pierce County Coalition. So that's where we're at today, and we appreciate the council's support for increased food security in the county.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions from my colleagues? All right, not seeing any. Thank you for all the work that you do, and thank you to all of our presenters for the work that you do day in and day out. That brings us on our agenda to Citizens Forum, and this is the part of our meeting that is set aside to hear from people for items not on tonight's agenda. So if you do wish to share something under Citizens Forum, please come up to the podium. You will have 3 minutes. And now I want to thank Fife because they have provided us with a little, this one I think is for green tea or black tea, 3 minutes or 5 minutes. I'll be using the 3-minute green tea timer on anyone wishing to make public comment. Please come up to the podium and introduce yourself for the record. Come on, Larry.
My name is Larry Volland, and I'm one of the founders and current board member, past president of the Summit Waller Community Association, a community that's basically directly south of the city of Fife, past the Riverside area as you go up the hill. On Canyon Road, you're into the Summit Waller community, which extends all the way to 512. Woodland on the east, bordering with Puyallup, and city of Tacoma on the west, and 22nd Avenue. We usually appear at these evening meetings because as our councilman from District 5 supports us, we feel it's important to support them. And we work hard to establish a working relationship with our Pierce County council person. We are celebrating our 30th anniversary this year. Next week, Councilman Campbell will be attending our 30th anniversary celebration at the Mid-County Community Center next Tuesday, May the 2nd, from 6:30 till 8. You're all invited, so you might consider coming. We have free raffle. We'll have coffee and cake, and everybody will be in a happy mood. We will have some presentations. Councilman Campbell will tell us about some issues that are pertinent to our group. We know that we sometimes in our group, we have now Zoom monthly meetings and some in-person meetings. And usually in our Zoom monthly meetings, Councilman Campbell attends, which we are very grateful. And I would have to say that out of all the Pierce County Council people in the past, he's probably been the best communicator and really very interested in our concerns, our ideas, and some of our issues to help solve those. And with that, I would like to thank you for being our council member, and would like to thank the City of Fife for hosting this evening meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to provide comment this evening?
I just want to, Kim Roscoe, City of Fife. I just want to take an opportunity to give a plug for the Mid-County Community Center. I have some friends that I'll be traveling to Austin with for a wedding celebration. And Mid-County Community Center has line dancing classes every Monday right around noon with a great instructor. So if anyone's looking for a really low-key, no pressure, no alcohol served, no one's going to get, crazy, I highly recommend that community center for line dancing classes. And also the friends that I've been attending classes with, he has also joined the Pinnacle Group. So it's really an asset in Pierce County. I don't know the relationship. I don't know if there's financial support that comes out of the county. They've got their own website, but I do think, irregardless, it is a very good community resource.
Thank you for that plug. It is also, we have a senior center out of there and do food pantry services out of there also. Anyone else wishing to provide testimony this evening? Okay. Has anyone signed up online yet? No. My mom still hasn't gotten. No. I think she's still trying to figure it out. I'm pretty sure. All right. Is there any other business before the council? See no other business before the council. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.